Welcome to this edition of the Taiwan Outlook. I'm your host, Raymond Wu. Since the rise in oil prices, bicycle has become a more popular means of transportation as well as means of recreation, and Taiwan is no exception. Today in our program, we are very delighted to have two bicycle enthusiasts in our program to discuss the Taiwan's bicycle culture. First, start with my left, we have Mr. David Reid. Welcome, David.
Hi.
And also next to David, we have Mr. Homer Guo. Welcome,
Glad
Homer.
to meet you.
Yes. If I may start off by asking David, would you mind telling us a little bit with the skyrocketed oil prices, since the second half of 2007, we see that a lot of people are now using bicycle, whether to get to work, whether to recreation, on weekends, and also as a means of exercise. Can you share with us your observation of the changes that you've seen in Taiwan's bicycle culture, bicycle use in the last 12 months in particular?
Well, the first thing is that bicycle use has increased massively in the last 1 or 2 years in Taiwan. I think it's due to a number of factors. The oil price, as you've just said.
Yes.
But I also think bicycling has become a part of popular culture. Like last year, there was a very popular movie called Island Etude.
Yes.
About cycling around Taiwan. And I think things like this also help to make bicycling more popular in Taiwan.
So you now actually see among your contacts and things, and people now using bicycle a lot more. Not only because of economic concern, but also because of other reasons as well.
Yes, and I think it's not just something that belongs to a certain age group, or it's just men or just women.
It's across the board.
You see young children, you see old people, you see men, you see women, you see people from all walks of life are out there riding bicycles. So it's becoming very popular for all Taiwanese people.
Yes, yeah. And Homer, you feel the same way?
I like to use one of the example.
Okay.
I like to buy a 14 bicycle at one of the shop.
Okay.
The first time I get there, they said this bicycle costs you 19,000, and you have to put 10% deposit, right?
Okay.
10 days later, the same bicycle, 23,000.
Okay.
And you have to put 4. And they said maybe even 2 or 3 months.
Okay.
I cannot guarantee you can get it.
So
you can see the trend, the popularity.
Is it because you think that the rising oil prices really accelerated the process, or is it because the people in Taiwan have now become more environmentally conscious, health conscious, and they resort to bicycle as a preferred means of transportation?
I think both contribute to that.
Okay.
Higher price, but right now the oil price has dropped. So hopefully that's not a trend. That's not the reason why people say, "Hey, I want to ride a bicycle" or not. But environmental this issue probably is the most important thing.
Yeah. And David, as a foreign visitor to Taiwan, Taiwan has many positive and proud things, but I suppose the quality of air is not something that we're very proud of. So do you think that concern over the environment, particularly over the air quality issue, also is one of the biggest factors for people to resort to a bicycle as a means of transportation, in addition to the rising oil prices?
Well, I still think in the city it's still quite polluted, so it's not always the best thing to do is ride a bicycle. Often the air is not so good. But once you get out of the city, the air is very clean and fresh, so it's nice to ride a bicycle outside the city. But I hope in the future, as bicycle riders increase even more, then the pollution will start to decrease and everyone can be happier.
Yeah, that seems to be one of the most common criticisms that you hear from expats all over the world that are coming to Taiwan. The one thing is that they're not very happy with our air quality, the pollution problem. Homer, in your participation in the promotion of bicycle cultures in Taiwan, is that one thing that you need to constantly emphasize or come across quite often when you talk with people?
One thing I brought is this mask.
Yeah, mask. Yes.
Okay. In USA, if you wear this, people think you are trying to rob a bank.
Yes.
But here it's normal. And it's must. To me, it's a must. Otherwise, you exercise more, you ride more, your health deteriorate.
You will be impacted.
Yes.
And what are the other factors that you see that are causing people now resorting to the use of bicycle as a means of transportation, other than economic, other than the concern over the environment?
Well, I think it's just healthy, and it's also a good social activity as well. Like many people joining in clubs or just going out with a group of friends to ride. And I think it's a fun thing for people to do together. You know, you can stop and take a break to enjoy the scenery, or go to a nice coffee shop and just keep riding, and you can discover different places.
How active are some of the bicycle clubs now in Taiwan? Do they meet regularly? Do they have events, activities like every month?
Morning.
Every morning?
Every morning.
Okay. And
like the one I have, you know, in Chiayi. Every morning they ride.
Okay.
6 o'clock they get some place and ride 2 or 3 hours.
Really?
And then go back to work.
Okay.
So it's,
David, your experience?
Well, when I go out on the weekends, I see a lot of people that are members of bicycle clubs. They wear the uniform and ride together in a team. So yes, I think there are a lot of them. Yeah.
And how about government's, you know, policy? We know that I think a few months ago, I think the Taipei municipal government allows people to bring on their bikes onto the metro. You know, so I think that's a big breakthrough. You know, it's sort of like a encouragement to people to ride bicycle and travel within the city. Do you think that also helps in terms of promoting the use of bicycle?
I think it helps a great deal. I live in Xindian, which is at the end of the MRT line. And on the weekend, you'll see a lot of people who take their bikes on the MRT to Xindian and then start riding up into the mountains or ride along the riverside. And also some people, they might ride their bikes out to Danshui and then take the MRT to go home. So it does make it a lot easier and more convenient for people.
Yeah, I also have this very good friend from Southeast Asia, Singapore. And he was actually the one who told me a few weeks ago that you can actually ride from Nangang, you know, that's where he lives, you know, through bicycle routes all the way out to Danshui. You know, that was something of a news to me, even though I've been a Taipei city resident.
That's old news already.
Yes, it's quite a distance, but you know, he told me that he's taken that route on weekends and things, and then you know, certainly was a surprise to me, a pleasant surprise. And then I don't know, do you see a lot of them happening around other cities and counties around Taiwan?
I'm mostly familiar with Taipei, but I know that other cities in Taiwan have been building bike paths as well, and maybe the situation is improving there to become more like Taipei.
It's spread out over in Taiwan.
Okay, how about in Chiayi, where you are?
Actually, I'm right now in Taoyuan.
Taoyuan?
Yeah.
Okay.
And one of the things they try to put is not just only for the recreation.
Okay.
It's for the daily life.
Okay.
For the commute, you know, to go to work, go to shopping, you know, this kind of thing. Not just only for recreation. That's one thing we try to push.
Okay. Yeah. How about compared with other places around the world? Do you think that there are, you know, additional things that Taiwan can do to further promote, you know, the use of, you know, bicycle, not only because of the high oil prices and the concern over the environment? What were the other things that you've seen around the world that you haven't seen that happening yet in Taiwan, but you think the government should consider, you know, implementing?
Well, we see that Taiwan, the use of bicycles has increased a lot, but it has the potential to increase even more and more. Because if you look at Amsterdam, which is the most well known as the biggest cycling city in the world, about 40% of people there make their travels by bicycle. 40%. So
That's
as you can see, Taipei has a lot of potential to grow.
Yes. So what's the percentage now in Taiwan, the bicycle user, on a regular basis, not just us, like 2%?
Less than 2%.
Less than 2%. Yeah. Yes. You know, I would probably consider a weekend recreational bike user. I don't, you know, ride my bicycle to work.
Yes.
But I think, you know, try to make my efforts, you know, to switch to bicycle use more often in the future. And do you see that happening around your peers, your friends, you know, the Taiwanese friends that are now, you know, using bicycle as a primary means?
Not necessarily as a primary means, but more and more of them are starting to ride bicycles. So people that 2 or 3 years ago didn't even own a bicycle or never rode a bicycle are now starting to get on bikes and get involved in cycling as an activity.
Yeah. When you guys involved to the promotion of the use of bicycles in Taiwan, how receptive is our public to the use of bicycle? Do they, you know, accept the idea? It's something good for their health. It's something good for the environment. It's not only because they're forced by the oil prices to abandon their cars and use the bicycle. How receptive do you think the public is?
People are aware of the benefit of the riding a bicycle.
Yes.
But they are afraid of the, like, safety problem, parking problem, stolen, this kind of problem, and weather.
Okay.
So they're concerned about that. But if you compare to the other city in the Europe, really this is no problem at all. Really.
Okay.
We can talk about this later.
Yeah.
You know.
And one thing, of course, I normally drive a car in Taipei, shame on me. But anyway, I mean, a lot of times when I, drive my car, I will find that a lot of the bicycle users in Taipei and parts of Taiwan as well are not really, comfortable. They fight with cars, with motorcycles over the right of way, and then sometimes they expose themselves to risk, to accidents. Do you think that is one area that that our government can do more to prevent and any type of bicycle accidents from climbing?
Yeah, I think you need to create safe spaces on the road. So in some cases, you really need to have separate bike lanes.
Yes.
Or a slow lane or something for bikes to move more safely.
But also, we don't see that very much yet, right? Do we?
No, it's slowly developing.
Yes,
I think in the next year or two we'll start to see a bit more. I know the Taipei City government has some plans.
Okay.
But I also think it comes with experience. A lot of people are new to cycling.
Yes.
So they're not necessarily comfortable with their bike and not necessarily don't know how to ride in the traffic.
Of course.
So once people, in another 10 years, when people are just more natural with cycling, then perhaps they'll move more easily in the city. Yeah.
How about you, Homer?
10 years too long. No, this is what we call the bicycle-friendly environment.
Yes.
Exactly.
They got
so-called 5E.
Okay.
Engineering.
Okay.
Education.
Okay.
Encouragement.
Okay.
Enforcement.
Okay.
Evaluation.
Okay.
So this is 5 critical criteria to become a bicycle-friendly country.
Okay.
And I think Taiwan's still a long way to go.
But we're on the right track.
We're on the right track.
Yes.
Like yesterday, I attended a meeting with the Taipei city government.
Okay.
They try to push what they call the
Bike lane.
to bike lane for daily life.
Okay.
They try to put the Dunhua, Southern Road, as a test. And just only for the engineering part, it's a big hurdle already.
Of course,
They discuss it a lot.
We had a very good initial exposure to the bicycle culture in Taiwan. And when we come back to Taiwan Outlook, we're going to continue our discussion with our guest over the kinds of things, the 5 E's that Homer mentioned, and the kinds of things that you should be careful, before you start riding a bike. What are the safety tips that you keep in mind? After a short break, we'll be right back.